Game number 1 coming up hot, and it's going to be Jade Dragons in that first pick position. And Mifflin, you heard it from Sam during the pregame interview. Jade Dragons know that there's no seeding whatsoever on the line here. So would you anticipate this team to maybe be trying to withhold a few strategies because they don't really want to, nobody wants to reveal anything heading into playoffs?
No, I think that it's very likely that the Jade Dragons have got their eyes on the playoffs themselves and have some strategies that they're saving for it, but I don't think they're going to hide what they've been doing up until this point, so we might just see some standard Jade Dragons play here today, and the Tartarus Titans, without not much seeding on the line either, I think you could say the exact same thing about them. It should just be what you'd expect. If this team had matched up last week, it's the exact same thing you would have seen last week.
And it's also pretty cool to know that, I mean, Jade Dragons, they've played against Layers before, and pro level is just when he was on that Solar Scarabs roster, but...
And he beat him.
And
Dragon Slayer.
Yes. And so you have to imagine, do you think that it has something to do with Layers kind of being the kryptonite to this Jade Dragons roster, or is that just something that kind of stems from elsewhere?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe the Jade Dragons were just sleeping on the Scarab at various points within the year, or maybe it was just that Layers X factor. I guess we'll get a pretty good look at it here today if the Titans are able to convincingly beat the Jade Dragons. I think we can go ahead and strip the moniker of Dragon Slayer from the entirety of the Scarabs and instead transfer it just to Layers, just that one guy, Dragon Slayer. Singular.
It is a part of the name, though. You can't spell Slayer without layer, and if you take the S and put it in reverse, it is basically Layers.
What? Where's the L?
What do you mean?
Well, I guess
Dragon Slayer.
Oh wait, no,
do
yeah.
you not know how to spell Slayer?
Oh
Mifflin?
wait, you're right. Oh no, but and then Layers
Mifflin.
at the end.
Oh
wow.
Oh my.
That's
See,
good wordplay.
You know, this goes back to what we just talked about. Remember how I said the whole puns thing, and the best ones are for the intellects to take part in?
No,
and,
you said the best ones are the ones you don't know.
Yeah, no. Well, you didn't know that one, that's for sure.
So it was
One thing I do know, though, and one thing you do know, is that when the Jade Dragons and Giannis is open, Hurrywin is almost always going to take it, and that's a pretty intimidating first pick selection here for the Jade Dragons. I think that Giannis is just a menace in terms of his mobility. And as far as the Tartarus Titans are concerned, they're going to need a lot of lockdown to prevent this Giannis and those 3 space and times from being super detrimental in map pressure.
It's locked in Chronos, Taco.
That's for Paul.
So early. And that's for Paul?
I think it's for Paul.
That team has Cyclone Spin on it.
I know.
So it's for Paul. I'm not going to argue with you anymore because you called the Terra jungle earlier.
I mean, I guess we'll see what the next 4 picks have to entail, but Paul is a very heavy Chronos player.
It's Paul.
And seems as though Layers is going to maintain this assassin style of play as well. Relatively late game oriented draft, though, so far from the Tartarus Titans, and a couple of really interesting response picks as well. You know, you don't really get to see Kali this early on.
No, you don't get to see Chronos, like, just
First
about
pick.
ever inside of the SPL. But you're right to say that this is a team that is going to really start to hit their stride at like the 25, 30-minute mark, and it's going to be hard to get there. The Jade Dragons are a squad that are known to bring the pressure inside of the early. It's generally, when teams play against the Dragons, they try to expedite their pace at least slightly. The Titans don't seem too pressed about that, not at all. I don't know how you're going to get this team to the late game. Maybe you lock in something like a Kepri to make sure that you're surviving the early. Maybe you're picking something that could just spawn some gold. Let's get Danza Burrow out there, something along those lines. But as of right now, the Tartarus Titans are saying, hey, if this game does go 30 minutes, probably just going to win.
I've seen a lot of giggles in these player cams. I'm starting to believe, Mifflin, that we've been a bit set up here. From the players, yes. I think that they're about to go crazy with some of these drafts because Vamana and Set as the responses for Chronos Kali. I'm assuming that this is Vamana in the solo lane, right? If you're Vamana up against the likes of Kali and Chronos, do you feel good about that?
In the late game or in the early game?
Both.
In the early game, I'm loving that. I'm loving every single bit of that. What's Chronos going to do to generate enough threat to stop big baby Colossal Fury Vamana from stomping on your skull? I don't know that there's really much he can do. So inside of the early game, Vamana certainly going to be favored there, probably all the way until Chronos is around that 4th or 5th item slot. Aphrodite, though, locked in for the Tartarus Titans here, and that's some more late game. It's going to take a little bit to hit the ground running again, and likely is going to be the sole laner. If history is any indicator for Aphrodite, could potentially flex support if we want to go all the way back to the Shadow Q days, but it's been a while since those days. I don't know how this Titans draft makes it put to like the 20-minute mark even.
I think Fafnir is about to become a very strong pick contender if he isn't banned away. And the Jade Dragons, they're going to take looks at that Heimdallr instead. Not fully convinced that this Chronos could be for the mid lane.
Well, you said it,
well,
though.
No, I think that it has to be Cyclone Spin now on the Chronos because it just doesn't really make sense to force Paul for that. That was the first response pick. But now with the Aphrodite being locked in, it has to be Chronos ADC. That would be too reckless otherwise, but the most early game that we see from the Titans right now is this Pele, and as far as Pele versus Set is concerned, I mean, I don't even know if that's really going to be a Pele for the jungle position. This is kind of shaping up to be a Pele in the solo lane.
I think that's Pele for Cyclone Spin, and we're going to get the Chronos
Fair.
for Paul. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Fair.
And it's okay, I guess. So it is Set ADC, Sylvanas jungle, Ganesh support, Vamana solo, Yanis mid. That's my whole lock-in for the Dragons.
It could be Ganesh in the jungle and Sylvanas for the support.
You're just so contrarian.
Ganesh
just
jungle.
agree with me one time.
I mean, it's hard to agree, Mifflin, when like I've seen these players do the weirdest things ever in the past, and well, it's just going to get more exciting here for the Tartarus Titans as they take Chalk as their final pick selection.
Yeah, you're going to want to sit down for this one. It is going to be absolutely wild between the Jade Dragons and the Tartarus Titans. Dolson, Gormizer, and Doug will put the pieces of the puzzle together for you that are only apparent to us now because we're in game. It is important to mention, and piggyback off what Taco just said, no seedings implications for this one at all. As a matter of fact, Gore, these two teams are playing one another in the first round of the Phase 2 playoffs, so you don't want to show too much, and that's why we're seeing a little bit of intrigue here in game one. Like a support pick, he's still playing something that's like in the support god pool. Well, they're going up against a Pele and a Kali, and they are dying to a Pele and a Kali as Aurora has found first blood on the Pele. Panda Cat, unfortunate to have taken a tumble. A minute and 40 seconds into the game.
That maybe hyper carry early on, and then they trade off. It's passing of the torch. If Pele, if Aurora here can continue to farm like Panda Cat and get some kills, they'll make good strides.
Paul is getting jumped on here in the mid lane, but get back and then a stun makes Sam for Soccer think twice. Funny that Paul just can't escape the healer meta. I guess he's playing Hell in a serious game, and now he's playing Aphrodite in.
And this.
Whatever you would classify this as.
Fun.
It is fun, Gore. It is fun. It's important to have fun. And what a way to end this week in the SPL is what I would normally say if we didn't have a matchup at 1 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. That's Kings and the Only Warriors, so tune in to that.
And that one does have seeding implications.
Yeah, so it's gonna be night and day from what I imagine we're gonna get here in this matchup. And we always get to ask these teams questions as Aurora gets pulled in. Receives a portal from Panda Cat. Of course, Panda Cat's going to hit that one. He's a mid-lane god, right? And he steps too far forward. And Cyclone Spin gets the stun on the last auto attack. Will be Aurora. And the Pele starting to swing. A double kill in the duo lane. Mike and Panda Cat wiped from the face of the earth. He is in their correct role, right? But they're all playing gods from
I think you might have just opened up the door to the second game.
Right, the next game everyone's just swapping around roles. But like, look, this is a look at Panda Cat mid, Hurry Wind on the set, which
that's not outrageous. That happened a lot last year. Set mid was actually pretty prominent. Paul played it a ton and was successful. Isn't necessarily bad,
right.
But Chalk is the reason I'm not really leaning towards it. I also think Sam on Vamana, maybe not necessarily this meta, but in the past that hasn't been a bad combo.
Yeah, actually it could work. We're gonna get our first look at Chalk in the jungle here. Aurora's got another kill on the left side of the map. As Hurrywin finally gets the Jade Dragons on board here. And so it's an early kill now for the Jade Dragons out of the mid lane. Blackthorn Hammergore started to see a bit of a rise in play.
In this role before. I think both of them, just as Mifflin had said, you hit a certain point in the game, and it doesn't necessarily matter if you're 0-6 or 6-0, you're going to be able to hit hard.
Oh my god, fine, okay, that's so much damage!
No!
Good lord, look, we're having fun, but that was gross. That is,
dude, those Dharmic
that
pillars.
is a disgusting amount of damage. Benji just got one shot and did not have the chance to use his ultimate. Used beads and still didn't get the ult off. That was wild from Fine OK. And a rare Ganesh kill, Gore. A rare Ganesh kill, and it could happen to Layers yet again. If there is a kill here, it'll go to Sam for Soccer no matter what. Might have been gifted, but Sam gets a kill in the back pocket. I want to see full damage Ganesh. That's what I want to see because I always play Ganesh support, or if I play Ganesh, it's always in support. And so you never feel comfortable. You know, you might throw one damage item in there at the end. I want to see Final K just go full on damage. PBM is sad that Paul and Aurora have that much damage. Now Mike has died for the second time. And that's dangerous, right? Now we've reached the point in the game where the supports roam. Except one of the supports is an assassin.
Yes.
And the other's a Sylvanas.
Aurora is not just an assassin, he's a 4-0 assassin at this point. But maybe PandaCat might be able to turn something around over here.
Well, through space and time is gone. Cyclone Spin's ult gets
Just needs an
used,
unstable vortex.
But there's the portal on out. PandaCat popped Cyclone Spin the moment the ult is down. So what looked like a horrific start to this game. Oh no, Aurora is rampaging now. Unfortunately, PandaCat 1-4. A sly smile crosses Mike's face. So this is a rare opportunity for Aurora.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about ways that supports can carry a game, but it's not often that they're on a carry-type play, or a god, like a Pele. So we'll see what Aurora is able to get done. Some action over on the right side, though. Final K sends some good damage on in. Benji uses his ultimate this time, gets the stun onto the Ganesh. And layers on the Chalk Jungle is on the board. Benji adds another. And all right, a pseudo 2v3 goes to the Titan.
That was very impressive. I think Benji gets his ult off in time. Can you imagine having to sit down and analyze this game afterward? Good luck, Mifflin.
Yeah, the desk afterwards have 15 minutes of time to talk about what's going on here. And this is a fiesta through and through. Final K uses the Dharmic Pillars, and then the silence over onto Benji. Same for Soccer. We'll chase down Benji with his ultimate. Benji with beads here, but we'll be able to walk away without having to use those. Some damage onto Sam, and a Benji escape here over in the solo lane. He's got Doom Orb, so a little bit quick, but Aurora, the 6-0 menace, makes his way to the right, has already got 1. 2 will go to Layers, and the Jade Dragons, these guys are washed.
Now, how long until someone picks up Aurora as a jungler? That's he's 6-0 on Pele. It's working out well for him.
Yeah, you think there might be a threat across the league now with how well Aurora's doing. Destruction doing well for Cyclone Spin. No way, nearly. Oh, the tick damage got him. Unfortunate for PandaCat. Is at least able to trade back the kill, but it was a 2v1. It was unfair, and so that one struck from the record, except it still is on the board.
Getting really rooting for him to get the kill. Yep. See that burst heal come through, and then watch a just tear of Kali carry over on the left-hand side. But I think this is the fun, just the fun of the game. I also think it's funny that Final K has gotten that kill on Ganesh. You had highlighted earlier. Probably shouldn't see a whole ton of those. Might not get to see one here. Might end up going down.
Layers has been chilling out on the right side of the map this game. That is a long silence on Chalk. You know, we don't get to see a whole lot of Chalk ever.
We've seen him
wait,
once.
Didn't you say this was once?
About a year ago.
Oh, before this, right.
And that was it. It was the start of Phase 2 for for Season 7. We saw him once.
I want to see if PandaCat can pull a bit of a magic trick. He's 8 seconds away.
He's playing
through space and time, unable to steal that one away. Now Cyclone Spin on the chase. Aurora is there as well. Lurking in the shadows around the back goes Aurora. Inbound is inbound. Hurrywind is the name I'm looking for. There is here as well. Benji has gotten a kill elsewhere on the map, and now unfortunately Aurora being chased down. A Cyclone Spin already killed off. Come on, Mike, you gotta hit the pull here, my friend. No, just use the ultimate. That's just fine. But Aurora does a whole lot of damage and does a whole lot of healing. A portal will keep him at bay a little bit longer. I'm not unconfident Aurora wouldn't be 2v1ing this if PandaCat wasn't here. He's effectively 3v1ing. And the Jade Dragons will have to leave. He's got the tower, though, so that evens things up a little bit.
Well, and Layers is just closing the gap. Ult's going to be good for the knockup. I mean, he might have the damage to find the kill on the Mike here. The portal is going to help a little bit, Dave, but it's not going to help everybody. In fact, Aurora comes in. Look, Layers did maybe only half the work for that, because I guess Aurora did the other half under the tower. Either way, ends up taking that. 7-0-2. Ganesh, it's always a fun question, because people, they want to know stats like about the gods. One of the things is, who has the lowest amount of kills of gods? It's Ganesh. Ganesh has
gotta be, right?
He's still sitting in the double digits. I think it's somewhere in like the 10 to 20s range. Like, it's obnoxiously low.
Benji blinks on to PandaCat here, who will use the beads, gets a nice burst of healing from the Soul Gem. Oh no, Benji has taken too much damage from the tower.
Bonk.
One more bit of damage will get it, and Benji has got it, but now Sam for Soccer is going to rotate in. There's no honor in this matchup. There's a whole lot of 1v1s that become 2v and 3v1s by the time the kill has ended up falling down. Watch out. Final K does do decent damage. I think Cyclone Spin will do a little bit more, especially if the Dharmic Pillars are down. Maybe you'll come back up in time, but Layer says no thank you. Now Cyclone Spin notches another. All right, so we're 16 kills in. I played this game with Taco earlier.
Okay.
It was a very dangerous game because we got it way wrong. The NASEC, we had a game finish with like 60 kills, or one team had like 60 kills in 25 minutes this morning.
Okay.
So we're 13 minutes in.
14
kills, 14 minutes in. I was ignoring the last 2 years. We're 14 minutes in. The Tartarus Titans have 16 kills here.
Yep.
They are 7,000 gold ahead, we'll call it.
Yep.
Maybe even 8,000. Maybe 7.1k.
Yeah? You want to change it again, Dave? Come on.
7.2k is where they're at right now.
Okay.
I think the Titans end this game with 32 kills. I think they double up on their kills, and this game is over in 25 minutes.
Yeah, that's right about what I was going to say. I'm gonna bump it though. I'm gonna say 36 kills. I'm gonna say they get 4 extra kills in there. Because you have to start factoring in. It's really difficult when you start looking at like death timers. Like there's 40 seconds now on Panda Cat and Cyclone Spin. But the map's not really changing too much, so it's not like we have much to worry about.
Yeah, that's always the issue, and that's where Taco and I fell this morning. So I was like, this game could be over in 10 minutes if this team wanted. And then they just kept kind of farming the kills and not really going for the towers, and so we ended up dragging out like 20 more kills than we had predicted. And it feels like that's the case now for Aurora, who is 802 at level 15 as a support. Mike has fallen woefully behind. You got to start questioning this guy's spot on this roster, Mike. He's 0-5, 5 levels down. It's costing his team the game. Do you think Aurora went the wrong direction with his build? He's 802. I mean, he could have some serious power online, but he's got the support mentality and chooses to go into more support-centric build. Do you think he's throwing away his lead?
I think this is what I like to call it. Like, it'll happen often for me. I forget the items other classes will build. If I play 5 games in a row as a support, and then I play carry for the 6th game, and you try to convince me what to build, I don't know what to do anymore. And I wonder if that's where he's at. He doesn't remember the items for Assassins.
Right, he wanted to type like Brawler's Beat Stick or something, and then he accidentally just typed Thieves because it's muscle memory, and he's like, I guess I'll buy it. I guess I'll buy Thieves. A couple of kills have happened after the Fire Giant gets taken by the Tartarus Titans. PVM goes down, Benchy goes down, Sanford Soccer being chased on out, and it's Layers on the killing spree on the Chalk Jungle. So, 4 members of the Titans with the FG buff, and Gore, they've got some decent tower shred.
Man, they really did FG, huh?
Spin, right? They did FG while we were talking.
That happened.
Got sustained with Paul. And you know what? Jokes aside with this type of composition, Aphrodite plus like Kali is actually a really good combo,
nuts.
Right? It's such a good combo. So the longer this game goes on, Aurora, with his build might go one way, but Cyclone Spin is absolutely going to start melting.
So what if, just, present it to me, or I'll present it to you.
Yeah, please.
What if we gave you a god that is terrific at finding 1v1s and kills, much like that. We gave them an ult that was immune, and then also a pocket healer that has an ult that will make them immune. Like that, that's just... Kali has like 5 lives in this circumstance here, and that's just Cyclone Spin that you have to burn through.
Yeah, the only way that goes wrong is if you don't properly communicate. I'm going to use Destruction. I'm going to use
you do them at the same time.
You do them at the same time or whatever, right? We only needed a Kepri in this game. And
do we even stand up for the end, or do we just stay sitting? Do we think they're going to end?
Yeah, right. That's the question. That is the question. The Titan is under attack.
They're on the Titan.
So I will prepare myself here because the Jade Dragons are all over the map, and there's a lot of damage here for the Tartarus Titans. This wouldn't be the fastest game of the year, as the Tartarus Titans might play with their food just a little bit. Actually, the respawns are here, and the Dharmic Pillars from Final K might keep Paul at bay. Nobody's got ultimates. Everyone's got FG. And Gore, they will not end. They will not end the game yet, but they can regroup and end at seemingly any point here with how low the Titans.
If they can end it in the next 20 seconds, they can take the fastest game of the year. 18 minutes, 47 seconds is the record for it so far in Season 8.
Do it.
You just got to get in there, Dave. I believe. Okay, never mind. Cyclone Spin's backing. Yeah, they're not going to do it.
And it was the Dragons who have that, right? Who have that title? I think it was, I believe they set the fastest pace over the Valkyries
over the Valkyries.
And then they played the Valkyries for the second time and then beat their original fastest game time.
Yes.
And so you know what? This is clearly an all-for-fun matchup right now, with nothing on the line as far as the Phase 2 playoffs go. There might be a little salt if the Jade Dragons lost their fastest match of the year to a team
like,
that's
silly.
beating them. Like, they are the team that gets beaten faster than they were able to beat any other team.
I think they set, not just like you said, they set the record for the fastest game in Phase 1. Then they beat that record about 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later.
Right.
Then in Phase 2, they haven't beat that record yet that they set in Phase 1, but they did set their own fastest game for Phase 2, and then beat that record when they played the Valkyries again.
Oh my
so
God.
they've been doing pretty well in terms of fast games.
Yeah, they're doing just fine. Cyclone Spin is doing
Cyclone,
just fine.
no! Cyclone, no!
We're going fountain diving. Gore, we're 5 kills away.
I'm going to sit back down,
30,
man. This is going for a
32.
while.
Yeah, Gore and I stand up as the Titan is below half HP, and then how silly do we look? It could have been
Which looks
interesting.
sillier, us or the game?
I would argue the game right now, because only you and I can see you and I. Although you and I don't look silly, Gore.
No, we're wearing fantastic Smite merch,
That's
shop.smiteproleague.com.
And then we're going to be able to plug that when the camera comes back to us. I did ask Taco early. We don't often
Divine!
we don't often
Support!
Get to hear Divine!
Divine!
The divine support.
I'm cutting
we don't
you
get
off.
to see
That's
that often.
sick.
You should. That is sick. Aurora's and then look, he remembers where the power and the lifesteal tabs are and goes back into Bloodforged later on in the build here. We'll see if Benji can 2v1, dodges out through space and time. The rest of the Tartarus Titans storming the right side of the base, and there is a lot of damage that is connected onto Panda Cat. And goodbye, Sweet Prince. He is 3 and 10 on this his build. Plus an Aphrodite pocketing him and Undying loving him. I can't imagine that this game goes much longer after this FG goes down. If the Titans choose to end.
Well, and if the Titans get the FG, I don't know. Sam's looking to put on a show.
Yeah, no, he's going to
Okay, not a long one, apparently. It was
That was the
canceled after the
shortest-
first season.
Yeah, it was canceled after the first season.
After the pilot episode?
The pilot episode. We didn't even get through. The budget ran out for about 10 minutes of film there for, nice pillars. That keeps Benji right where he is. Well played by Final. Final K has had some sick Dharmic pillars here this game. Despite it not being great. PBM goes in, massive knock-up, but the Titans take down the FG. Very close, Polar Bear Mike. Very close, but not enough. 32 is where it's been reached. So if the Tartarus Titans are able to end this game without getting any, they got to go on a pacifist
none of the Dragons look like they're trying to back right now.
We got to go on a
man.
pacifist run here, and then Dave's right.
I'd say I would argue closest. So like 33 is still you. 34, I would argue round down goes to you. So then 35 and up is me. I won.
Got to end the game, and I just couldn't.
It was you did numbers, but when you threw in the extra kill, that's what broke me. That made it the perfect call.
Yeah, the somebody in the game, please. Come on now.
somebody in the game. Oh, they're gonna be able to get the kill right here.
Yeah, we might be getting close to the end of this one. Panda Cat sends some good damage the Tartarus Titans way. Cyclone Spin has to use his ultimate. And so, gone is the hyper carry Kali for the next minute or two. Let's see how much damage Aurora can still do. He's reached level 20. Panda Cat doesn't connect with much. My God, that is a lot. Poor Bear Mike might have helped out here. And Hurrywind is in to play base defense as well. And for a little bit longer, Gore, the Tartarus Titans held at bay.
This is like the one cast this weekend I have. Did I cast yesterday? No, it was just the desk because the King's set got moved over. This is a fun game, man. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was
at
pain
this
in your
point.
eyes or
Oh no,
not.
no. This is just fun. This is good old end of phase. Like you said, these teams playing each other during playoffs.
Round
Don't want
one.
to reveal anything.
Right.
Like this is about it as again fun you can get while still playing an SPL game. That's not like a charity event, right? Charity
right.
events get way more wonky, and also now that it's us casting, like that'd be us getting
Right.
farmed out
Right.
there. Like it'd be Aurora's 9-0-11 and I'm 0-25.
The real charity here is that the Tartarus Titans haven't ended this game. You know, that is a charity to the Jade Dragons that the Titan is still on the map and has been able to heal up fully. Look, the Jade Dragons are down big. I mean, it is 17,000 gold in the hole. But if this keeps happening, you know, we can see a turnaround.
We're at that stage of the game
Also,
where all it takes is a white and you can run down mid.
I also lose. It's at 34. Oh no, so I'm winning right now. One more kill and I will have lost. And it looks like Hurrywind might be the prey that officially puts my bet down into the dirt. And no, for the time being, Gore, Dave's still on top.
We'll see how long it lasts. I don't know. They're just like
All right,
not playing with their food. The Dragons are actually defending this
They are.
base pretty well. And Cyclone's going in? No way!
Cyclone is in.
Hurry,
and
has to be a
wears
start.
Out. Oh, he gets a little
Or not.
heal. Fine, okay, just waiting for the abilities to come back up. Aurora doing support things, trying to peel for his ADC, but the stun gives the kill on over to Polar Bear Mike. Aurora in a position where he could 2v1 this, but will choose not to. Smite.
Yes.
That these types of picks, maybe one of the picks on the team could work.
I will still say, like, all of these still fit decently in their role. Like, you could look at least at, well, maybe not the Pele support. You could look at most of these picks, and at some point in Smite's history, they have been where they are. Like, there was a period of time where playing mages in the long lane was fine. That makes sense for Pandacat. We've seen Sylvanas this year, set mid. We've seen Vimana jungle. We've seen Ganesh solo. Maybe. I don't know if
Yeah,
we've
maybe
seen that.
not.
His passive necessarily
No.
doesn't help that. I know Cronus has been over there. We've seen Shock in the jungle. We've seen Afro mid. And we've seen Kali ADC before. So, like, all of these are still technically in the realm of existence.
Right.
Not just because of this game.
Well, here we go. Could be the final Titan siege of the game. The Tartarus Titans done
Don't
playing
kill
with
anybody.
their food. Gore's at 36. Could it end at a perfect 36?
Big money, baby!
Soccer is low, but he lives on. 36 for Gore. Right on the nose. What a call. No, look, we've had a lot of analysis on the desk today. A lot
That's
of
the best
predictions
one.
at the desk. We're
I'm
getting
taking
really excited about getting right. You hit the nail on the head, Gore. 36 kills exactly, and that was a
I'm
long
retiring.
time
I'm
ago.
out. Have fun.
6,000, so to say, but Aurora, it's incredible to think, and I really shouldn't take credibility for this, for what I'm about to say, but Tartarus Titans spent so long trying to find a jungler, and the real jungler all along, it's really just Aurora.
It was the Auroras we had along the way. The Pele performance was strong from the Tartarus Titans, but it's hard to put a lot of weight behind some of these picks or even some of these plays when it seems like both teams are having a little bit of fun here. At least you get to see mechanical prowess such as this. Look at Benji. He don't miss.
He's not missing any autos on that tower right now, and he certainly didn't miss that closing ability kill. What
Watch this
role
one.
do you
This is
think
sick.
Benji was playing this game? I don't know if this counts as solo lane anymore.
Well, that's the lane he was in. Hold on, watch this. Let the gameplay speak for itself. Juke, turn, presses 2, forces the portal defensively. My man's popping off. Look at him go.
Incredible stuff, really. How does he do it, Mifflin?
Oh, in that one, he pressed W. He kind of switched it to A for a little bit, held S while the portal was coming through the entire time, holding down left click. That's with your right hand. For you lefties at home, left hand on left click. And then from there, generally just kind of maneuvering the map in such a way
Just the maneuvering.
in which he succeeds and the enemies don't.
Nice. Well, Titans certainly succeeded in taking game number 1 here, and Pandacat might need to wrap it up, hang it up with that Giannis duo lane. Seems as though the real mage of the series here definitely falls to Benji. We don't talk about Paul because he's a filthy Aphrodite main, and by
toxic.
default he is no longer a part of the conversation. But it's just healer abuse, man. Here, Mifflin, is because he directly tweeted out asking, what gods have not been played so far in Season 8? And I replied with Arachne. I'm not sure if that's actually true or not.
Why'd you
But-
reply it?
Well, because Arachne seems like a ridiculous enough god pick that
Feels like
nobody
it
has
hasn't been
played
played.
it in the Pro League. So if it hasn't been played in Pro League, then I expect to see an Arachne come through for one of these teams.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like 20 gods that haven't been played, so doesn't necessarily have to be the Arachne, and it seems like you're not even necessarily sure that Arachne hasn't been played up until this point. But you know what I am sure of, Taco?
What are you sure of?
Tiamat's been banned, so is Yanis.
Yeah, even the Tartarus Titans didn't want to make Pandacat run that one back. It's for his own good.
That's a targeted ban.
It's for his own good. Panda doesn't need to be rocking the Giannis anymore. We'll leave that to the experts, aka Hurrywin and other mid laners. Mike having an awfully big giggle there. He is giggling his life away. I don't think I've ever seen Mike smile so much in a player cam before than this set against the Tartarus Titans here today.
Here's the thing about how Mike's smile has been proven to cure disease and make your day brighter.
Go
Just
on.
go ahead. Look at it right now. So yeah, get that on full screen. Good stuff, production. Mike, just an absolute global national treasure here. Don't put your head in your hands. We got to see the smile, bud. And we come on. There are people out there sick at home, don't have the soup that they need.
You made him shy.
And you're going to deprive the world of your smile, that is awful.
Mifflin, you're putting too much
he's like
pressure on this
Krampus right
man.
now.
I mean, listen, not everyone is meant to see such a smile all the time, okay? And it's supposed to be a viewing pleasure here for Smite Game Chat. And instead, you put so much pressure on him. And Tartarus Titans, they take Arachne.
I'm pretty sure
another
that is collusion.
easy prediction.
Are you allowed to
from
help them
me
with their drafts?
on the desk?
You didn't predict it. You begged.
No, that is called insight.
That's not insight.
And
you told a player to do it, and then they did it. I'm
My
pretty sure that's
analytical
illegal.
prowess knows no bounds. I'll put it that way, Mifflin.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch, but anyway, bans are done. We're not going to break them down because I don't feel like it. Yamoja.
What are
locked
they
in on the other
doing?
side. What do you mean?
This is too legitimate.
Jade
Why is
Dragons
there
lost
Yamoja?
game 1. They got to pop off now.
No, by default they have to lose game 2 as well. It's the
What do you
rules.
mean by
Them's the
default?
rules, Mifflin.
Who wrote these rules?
I mean, to be fair, Jade Dragons,
fair.
they do love their game 3s. So
There you go.
I wouldn't be surprised if it go game 3. You think that's a Panda Cat Anubis? He's been on a mage tear today.
Here's the thing about how Panda Cat's mages are really, really, really bad. They are. So I'm hoping that it's not. I'm hoping that's a Final K Anubis.
Final K Anubis?
Yeah, I think that pops.
What? Well, if it's Anubis versus Hades in the Soul Lane,
Sick lifesteal matchup.
is that fair though to the Anubis?
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Anubis is CC immune in the ultimate. Just don't use the Plague of Locusts. That's the first ability.
But won't the Pillar of Agony kill the Anubis?
No,
Or
I mean,
is it the
it's-
other way around?
It's more the Devour Souls that you're worried about.
Okay, that's fair. Izanami and Apollo also gonna really end off this top 3 from both of these teams. And for anybody back at
Sure
home
did.
who's wondering what exactly is going on here in the upside down of Smite Pro League,
Are we allowed to say that? Oh, wait, no, we had a collab. We could say that.
We had a
Yo, we're
full-on
in the
collab about
upside
that.
down.
Yeah, Mifflin. That's
Nice.
called the Stranger Things Battle Pass button. That's still in the game, by the way.
You can buy it still?
Well,
In
I
the
don't know if
game?
you can buy the Stranger Things Battle Pass any longer, but
Uh-huh.
the skins are definitely still there.
Yeah, I'm playing the skins.
So am I. I love them all deeply. But what I was trying to get at here with these top 3 and these teams in general, and for some of you guys back at home who are wondering, why do these drafts seem so janky and unusual? Well, I'll tell you the simple reason behind it. These two teams will not be impacted whatsoever as far as seeding is concerned,
You're
leading
saying
into the
they're
Split 2 playoffs. I'm not going to say they're trolling,
Okay,
Mifflin. This
good.
is just, it is a strategy to withhold strategy. And that is what both of these teams are employing here today, because these two are going to actually be facing off against each other on Friday as part of the Split 2 playoff. So when you have to face your competition in less than a week's time, you don't really want to showcase much of anything.
All right, fair enough. You know what, Taco? Just because you didn't say it, but you said it without saying it, that this is a troll match, I think this
100%
Umoja
troll
isn't
match.
for support. I think it isn't for support.
That's
I think,
fair.
I bet. I'm not going to bet. I don't like using that word anymore. I think this Anubis is going into solo, Umoja in mid, and then that Izanami is almost certainly not for Breznov. I don't think he's playing an ADC today.
Well, then again, Polar Bear Mike does have a storied history when it comes to Anubis in his team's compositions.
I remember the ALG
So,
Anubis.
so maybe we see Mike finally digivolve to his next level
Oh,
of
you definitely
gameplay,
can't say that.
and he's going to be able to hit the Anubis support.
Oh,
Can
you
you
think
imagine
so?
how great Anubis support would be here?
Dude, it's like a what is it, like a
It's way more fun
55
than the Emoja.
It's like
you,
a 60
you don't want to play
stun.
Emoja support. Mike does it all the time.
Yeah, no, that's so boring. Olarun and Amaterasu are going to round out the draft here for the Tartarus Titans, and it's pretty cool that this is happening. And I really like that he's going to be dilating time. He's significantly going to affect the time field when that fourth ability is on the map. So
Are these 4 gods that have never been picked before, by the way,
all
for
four.
Tartarus Titans?
Yeah, Hades, Olarun, and Ama. Yeah, all of them.
So we're
Yeah.
looking at some
Oh, and
potential
Arachne, too.
100% win rates for
No shot.
Arachne,
They lose
Hades,
this.
Olarun, and Amaterasu if Tartarus Titans can bring this one
Yeah, it'll
home.
be a journey for sure here, Taco, won't it? Look, the Jade Dragons, by all accounts, I mean, I don't know, Anubis is in sort of a weird spot. But the Jade Dragons have like an actually like a good draft as far as who they've selected. Look, if you stick Osiris in solo, Ratatoskr in the jungle, Umoja and Izanami in duo, and Anubis Smith, that's like an actual draft.
That's not what they
Yeah,
did.
that's not what we get. Instead, we're getting some fighting. on the right side of the map. Invades, what's going on here? I don't know, this hasn't happened in forever. It's a blue buff invade. Look how slow Mike is. The Invader's Curse, he's so slow. Oh my god, I've never seen it in action because nobody's bothered. Go, Mike, go! Do it! No, he's taking too much damage. Steal it away! No, Layers will get it. He's so freaking slow. Oh my goodness. All right, so Mike, I've never seen anyone actually have just the Invader's Curse slowing him down, so especially when it's Ratatosker. He's trying, man. We're back to the support invade meta, and he steals away one of the Harpies. Invader's Curse be damned. Polar Bear Mike will steal your farm.
I don't know what to say, man. I'm lost.
We've also
I guess,
flipped the map.
We could, what about the map? Oh, yeah, flipped it.
There's 2 on right.
Yes, as of right now. They're hanging out. Well, that's Sam. He's supposed to be over there for a little bit.
I guess what's happened here is everyone's in their respective lanes and the supports have just rotated out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So dual lane is really a solo lane right now. And then this is what's happening on right. Gore, I know you're excited though because
yes,
outside of Apollo, every god on the Tartarus Titans has been now picked for the first time this year.
Same thing for the Anubis on the other side. So like Taco said, there's a good chance that they could get the 100% win rate, which is fun in and of itself.
Yep.
And you know what, Dave? I've been waiting for the best time to reveal this, and I feel like now is the time to do it. They've chunked away heavily at the gods that have not been played so far this year. Now we can start working on my gods that have not been banned so far this year list, which is much longer now.
Yep. Yeah, it's significant.
Although we did just get Nox, Opwash, and Eset,
yeah, I'm
so
mad at the
that
Dragons.
actually helps.
I'm mad at the Dragons for banning that away. We just saw a solo kill. This one won't be a solo kill. The Jade Dragons will gank the, I guess, solo lane in this game. I don't really know what all these lanes are, but the Jade Dragons will successfully gank with Sanford Soccer on Anubis jungle. Layers, actually, the slow there might have saved Layers from getting stunned up by Fine OK. Golden Blade early here for Benji on the Arachne. It's maybe a similar mindset, Gore, where, as the game goes on between an Arachne and Apollo and an Ola run, I mean, these auto attackers are just going to go crazy, and already Layers on the Apollo jungle, which is not all that far-fetched, by the way, is able to get his first kill of the game.
If I remember correctly, the last time we saw Apollo jungle, Johnny went 0-12 on it, so already starting off a little bit better there for Layers in the jungle. I mean,
Thank you.
Oh, just,
No, I'm just going to yell a sport at a random point throughout this game, and we've got to immediately transition into it. We're not going to do it here because this would be too obvious. Benji, unfortunately, getting return ganked by Sanford Soccer.
I wonder how good my Canadian accent is for hockey. It's like Katie's Canadian. Like every now and then she sounds more Jersey half the time than she ever sounds Canadian. But she's got half Canadian.
Yeah, I don't think.
But we listen to a lot of hockey, so maybe we can do it.
I heard it a little bit in the hockey there.
The
hockey. Yeah, go Bruins, by the way. Feels like we need to get that one out there. Everyone knows I'm a Bengals fan, but also Bruins. So I at least have one team in my fandom that's somewhat successful. Unfortunately,
I was gonna say I'm trying to think of one, then I remembered Clemson won 2 national championships, so that kind of.
Yeah, Gore, that's the type of success people dream of. Yeah, UGA, my Bulldogs are playing your Clemson Tigers here in like 6 days, so we're going to have some sort of office bet going on there, I assume. Polar Bear Mike might have gotten a return kill here after he gets 2-man tower dove. So the Ratatosker not doing all that bad. But it's really sweet.
It is. It's sick.
And he never gets any play, and it makes me sad. So I hope Olaron looks good, even though I doubt this means it's going to look any better. Benji has just been camped. Without any apologies from the Jade Dragons so far. Layers dunks in, but instead has this one turned around onto him. Are we going tower diving, fellas? It looks like we are. Sanford Soccer proves me wrong until the minion takes the last bit of tower shot there. Layers doesn't leave, instead dashes beneath his tower. Could be a nice play here for the Tartarus Titans jungler. Sanford Soccer walks on through, a little bit of damage, gets canceled out. Layers finally taken down by Fine OK.
We might go 3 games.
That's what I mean. The Dragons have like an actual draft.
In the late game, 5-on-5, the Dragons could win this and push us to 3.
Look, I'm fine with 3 games of this as we get a first look at Sanctified Fields.
Sick ability name, by the way.
Yeah, sick ability name. Don't know what it means, but I know what it does, and that's what's important here. Paul sets up for a kill for Aurora.
It means the fields are sanctified, Dave.
Yeah, what does sanctified mean, though?
I don't know. So sanctuary, sanctified.
Maybe it means like blessed in some way.
I'm going to look it up.
Well, that's just cheating.
Okay, fine. I won't look it up.
Okay. Well, we're gonna figure out.
No
what it means,
Google for me, I guess.
No, you can look it up, Gore, because at this point I just want to know. We're gonna continue fighting here in mid. Same for soccer on the Anubis.
I'm waiting for that sport.
Do you think Anubis? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I got to do it at some point.
So I had to remind you of your own bit.
Do you think Anubis is how far up on the annoying gods to play against tier list is Anubis?
On ahead, when he's ahead, top 5.
Yeah.
When he's behind, bottom.
I
5.
have a
Actually, maybe still like top 30
I
if
have
he's
a rap-
behind. He's annoying.
I have a Anubis wrap magnet. I'm convinced. I cannot dodge those things for the life of me.
You are to Anubis rap as Barra is to Giannis. Look, see, that's some character growth right there. It's been like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Sour cream has become not a favorite, but it has grown.
Well, it's
on.
almost like a palate cleanser, right? I mean, it's in the taco, and it adds that extra layer of bland is not the right word, but just stable, right? You know what you're getting with sour cream. It's not going to surprise you. It's not going to make you sad. It's just there, and it might enhance the taco just a little bit. At any rate, 3-man rotation from the Titans on over to the right side of the map. Fine, okay. Will survive. Not enough damage from anyone to get any kills here just yet. Benji, I was about to say he's been sitting on a lot of gold here, but he has also been camped pretty effectively throughout the early part of this game. Hurrywind is no good on his rotation to right. Looks like we might have another tower dive in store.
I'm going to steal your bit. I'm going to yell out a sport while you're play-by-playing, because that's going to make it work a lot better.
Yeah, that
in
might.
my mind.
Yeah, you're right.
But I can't do it now, because now you're expecting.
Right, again, right. It's just too obvious.
I got to
Polar
wait
Mike
2 minutes for you to
rotates on
forget
in.
again.
And I forgot as you brought it back up. Polar Bear Mike finally rotates in, and the Ratatosker global pressure makes the impending threat of a Game 3 all that much more likely.
And then just like hard int so they don't.
Oh, that is well within the realms of possibility here.
It'd be a like really well fought hard int though.
Yeah, you can't count that out. Benji, maybe a bit tilted from the way that his solo lane went, is now diving Hurrywind in layers. Will pick up the kill. So now 3. What? Oh,
he just sat there.
Benji, come on!
He's 0-5.
He's 0-5. But he's able to go back and buy a little bit faster. That's what's important here. Same for Soccer and Layers have both been getting plenty involved. 3 kills for both of the junglers here, Gore. And I kind of, look, I don't miss it in my games, but I think I miss seeing Apollo jungle in the SPL. Because the type of thing where, you're in the throes of a team fight, as we might be here. Cyclone Spin will use his ultimate. And this is what happens. And it always catches me off guard, but it's so funny when just like a massive Apollo rotation dunks on in. And it just changes the face of a team fight.
I'm going to say that Cyclone Spin actually has an advantage in this lane matchup because Cyclone used to play solo. Like 2 warriors fighting each other actually works out well for him.
Unfortunate for Aurora. It's a 2v1 over there on the right side of the map. Can't wait to see how this one plays out. Also, a disgusting underutilization, I think, of the Draugr Pit on fights so far this year. That's my favorite place to just sit in a corner and wait for my opponent to walk back into lane before I. Traditionally you sit by the purple buff when they're going back from base to get their purple. I'm trying to chill next to the Draugr buff and pop out and surprise them from there. But I guess on the other hand, you can steal their purple if you're over
in the purple buff
in the purple buff pit, right? But I want to see a little bit more Draugr action. Benji has used his ultimate more times to escape than I think he's used to engage. This time, no tower to put him out of his misery. But unfortunately, the Arachne's still 0-5 and 2 levels behind Fine okay.
Oh, wow, yeah, 2 levels. This Emoja, it's Emoja. She's got decent enough lane pressure on her own. Let's see if she can do enough to stay alive. Doesn't have the River's Rebuke. That's been the big turnaround.
No. Aurora without cooldowns. Not a great opportunity for you. Cyclone Spin is half HP here. Hit some autos, Hurrywind! There you go. You got the kill on the Cyclone Spin. And the Jade Dragons.
Now we see why he's a mage player, am I right?
You are right, Gore. You are right. Yeah, right, because look, he's hit the Dark Portal, and he hit the 2, and then the auto attacks were just missing. He hit the abilities. But what are auto attacks if not just small individual abilities?
They are classified as abilities in the database.
Really?
Yeah. Like if you look for like highest damage ability, there's a good chance you're going to see a lot of auto attacks on there.
Really?
Yes.
That is a fun fact. Well, a whole lot of abilities from Layers hit Panda Cat right now. And so Layers, now maybe the shining hope for this Tartarus Titans team. Paul has Sanctified Field. He's being 3-man towered over in the mid lane. River's Rebuke will slow him down, but Paul will slow down the Jade Dragons. Yeah, not a lot of damage comes out on the back end of that one from Paul, but enough to set up for a kill onto Hurrywind. Up in the air goes Polar Bear Mike, as Layers dunks on in as well. I don't think Mike is going to re-engage here. Fine, okay, will Riptide away. Maybe Mike will re-engage. No, he's just waiting on that final branch before he drops on down. Sam Prasaka around the back. And now the Anubis has got 5 kills.
And the Arachne has 5 deaths. They're trading off the
That's right.
2 A gods. Well, I guess Apollo's in the game. That kind
He has
of.
a few stacks. Looks like a Wind Demon after that. So crit is on the mind of Hurrywind here. And I look down to Cyclone Spin, and I forget that it's Cyclone Spin, and I see an Amaterasu building Ikavale Berserkers and Xe. And I think it's interesting. But hey, auto attack Ama is a lot of fun. And I don't think it's often you can make it work, but maybe Cyclone can. This is why we probably don't see a lot of Ola run Gores, because Paul's just kind of getting sat on despite the Sanctified Field. And a nice ultimate traded out by Panda Cat will leap over Cyclone Spin's ultimate. Could the dash-in be enough? Panda Cat's got some damage, but not enough. And Cyclone Spin adds another here on the left side of the map. Unfortunately, Gore, the Osiris ADC isn't quite hitting the same note as the Amaterasu is, who has 5 kills. So now there's another win condition here for the Titans.
See, this is just the Titans playing into their history. They know, like, Cyclone Spin, for those of you wondering, has the widest god pool of any Smite player. He has played the most unique gods.
Is it wide or deep?
Both?
I guess both work, right?
Yeah. He's the deepest god pool. It's a pool, so deep would make way more sense. So the deepest
Yeah,
god
but
pool.
a pool that is only wide enough for one person to stand in sucks.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a shallow, huge pool than like a 20-foot deep pool that is...
Well, but see, but when you say shallow, I think like a 4-inch deep, like your ankles are in there. Like,
Right.
that's shallow to me. And so
I think it was around this time in last game, Gore, where we took bets on where the kills would end up. We'll get to see in-game in just a moment where the kills stand. So we're at 16 and 14. This one a lot closer. And actually the Fire Giant for the Tartarus Titans could make things interesting. We actually could have a team fight brewing here as well. Fire Giant is at half HP. Now Aurora on the backside. Layers trying to do his best to lock down the advantage around the Fire Giant. But Sam for Soccer sinks the putt for the first kill. The Fire Giant ends up going down. Oh, and he's done it! It's a goal from Benji! And the FG for the Tartarus Titans. It's maybe sealed the win.
I was waiting for an actual team fight to break out. Nothing was worth it until that moment. That was great. You said Sam for Soccer, and I was like, you know what? Soccer's a good idea. Let's see how it goes. I was hoping to just get to the goal. I don't want to scream it that loud, because
Right,
I'm sure
I was
audio
nervous
backward
right.
is
Right,
unhappy with that.
I project a lot, and so
We are loud.
yeah, we are obnoxious, aren't we? I will say that's been a complaint about me in the past, where I'm like, I'll be out at dinner or whatever, and whoever I'm with is like, nice turnaround by Cyclone Spin. Whoever I'm with will ask, like, Dave, why are you like yelling?
Be able to hear each other, because we're
Yep.
just all like
Yeah.
collectively
Collectively.
very loud, and it also will sound really southern then.
Yeah, my family has some pretty loud tendencies. Dunk from Polar Bear Mike onto Paul, but Layers turns it around. As Apollo's starting to hit that power spike here, Gore, and so while the Jade Dragons controlled a lot of what we saw early in this game, the tides are starting to turn, despite there being a emoji here for the Jade Dragons. And 3 strong rather, with the FG buff is going to give the Titans an advantage. We're only 17 minutes into this game, Gore. It feels like we've been going for like an hour.
Well, so there was a game 1, Dave. Time
No, I mean,
compounds.
Game 2 feels like it's an hour.
Okay. And they add together as you sit here. So they've technically been in game, actually maybe almost an hour now at this point. Yeah.
And we actually saw it solo lane a couple times, I think, as well.
Yes, Final K has played it solo.
That's right. So maybe Ratatasker's in that conversation. I don't think right now, unfortunately, with all the power picks we've got, that Rat support is going to carry that much weight. Polar Bear Mike looking good on it, though. 3, 2, and 7 has maybe overextended, because look at the jump party that's coming from the jungle. In the collapse onto PBM. Final K low on Omi. Polar Bear Mike low on life, but high on the branch up in the sky, and he'll be able to dash away.
So games like this are where it's important to remember certain milestones.
How I got here in life.
Fastest game. Well, maybe fastest game. That's already out of the question. Not going to be happening, at least as of right now. But we are in a conversation for most kills in Season 8 for a single game, because I believe, and this one's coming off the top of my head, I believe that one's at 54 kills, and that's collectively between 2 teams. So they're pretty damn close to it. What is that, 39 as of right now?
40.
Let's make it 40. So that's a good one. But
It's 50 what?
if they want to, it's, I think, 54 for the
54.
year.
Okay.
If they want to beat all-time, Dave, we're in for a long haul, because the most kills ever done in a single SPL game is 144.
How long was that game?
I can't remember how long the game was. I know it was a travesty, and I don't recommend watching it.
Got it. So it was like this,
Yes.
but it dragged out past like 20-something minutes.
In fact, PandaCat has the record
for most kills in a game?
second most kills in a game. Beat out so Met Yankee has the most kills in the game. It's 24 kills in that said 144 kill
My
game.
God.
PandaCat had 23 at the time he was playing Hebo. And so again, long haul if we want to.
I have to imagine there was not a lot on the line for a matchup like that.
No, in fact, nothing was on the line anymore.
Right. I
As it
think
turns
that's probably the only area where a game like this is probably okay, right?
Yeah. You know what? I want to throw out more milestones.
Please do.
Because
Gordon.
we're in this position.
The less I have to fake commentate these
Yeah.
guys.
So here we go. 8 Fire Giants is
Goodbye.
the most Fire Giants that has ever happened in a single game. So maybe they can shoot
God.
for that. 81,000 damage done in a single game, held by Yaman on Discordia. That's something they could try to beat. And I had another one in my head, and I forgot it.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Well, so 8 Fire Giants. Okay.
80 wards. I think it was like 84 wards, something like that, placed by Raffer in a single game.
There you go,
That's
Raph.
another one to try and
They
beat.
better have won. You're warding up that
I
much.
think he lost that game.
Oh, man. Well, right, the opposing support probably had like 79 wards or something, so it wasn't all that far off. Poor Bear Mike on a secret mission here.
They're not going to beat the wards, Steve.
Yeah, no, they're not. Unfortunately, 8 wards. Gore, we've got to go for 200 minutes to reach the 80 ward point.
Aurora?
Aurora goes in. It's the 1v1 we've all waited for. The Fire Giant
Hockey.
not losing. I don't know how you do hockey.
Probably the same way you were doing it
It's right
before.
up the board, and then the Fire Giant sending pucks and big old hits Aurora's way. Can he slot it into the goal? Oh, Cyclone Spin in on the assist.
Yeah, I guess it's more like the Aurora, pass it into Cyclone Spin back
Yeah,
to
right.
Aurora.
Yeah,
Aurora
you're
sets
right.
it up, and it's a goal!
It's
And
a lot quicker.
yeah.
You're right. I dropped the ball on that one. I needed a moment to think of it. It was. You did
Holy
it well.
moly!
Yeah, that's a big old crit there from a. Layers has only got 1 crit on him, and he turned around. Maybe Layers is the true ADC with the crit pass. He's got a double kill here, and 4 members of the Titans with the FG buff. And Gore, the storybook ending might finally be happening here.
48 kills.
And we might be freed from the trenches of Tartarus Titans versus Jade Dragons at the end of the phase.
I'm kind of enjoying myself.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Casts
What's
like
another
this,
fun sport?
casts like this definitely have their place.
I don't know that
I don't
there's
know, you
many
better
like
think of one quick,
stylized
though,
ones.
because Sanford Soccer jumped on by Layers, Fine OK, and Polar Bear Mike, the last 2 alive. Yeah, I don't think any sport is going to do this one justice because
50.
it's a Yamoja. What were we? I don't remember what we bet on.
54
54 is what we were looking at
That's
for
what
some
we're looking
reason.
for the win.
Triple kill for Layers.
Don't do it.
5 seconds on Hurrywin's respawn. PandaCat also 5 seconds away. The Tartarus Titans holding up
do
the
this.
Titan. Hurrywind being fountain dove, lots of healing from the old fountain, and the Aegis will save his life a little bit longer. Now Layers being chased down by the angry Titan. It'd be funny if because they were the Titan just joined their team and started attacking the Jade Dragons when they came out of base, but I don't think we're gonna get to see that here. Paul finally doing some damage. He's got 3 kills in this game. Look at those big old crits ringing out. The Tartarus
I'm
Titans
pretty sure
with
they're
30
one
kills.
short, dude.
Yeah, bummer. Well, you know what, Gore? That was a journey. We did it.
Cams as well. We kind of knew what we were getting ourselves into with this one, Mifflin.
We did, and now the fans at home can go ahead and relive that last game inside of the set. Layers decided that Johnny couldn't do it, but he could, and, well, he did. Apollo Jungle looks pretty nasty when you're playing against, let me read that top to bottom, Yamoja solo, Anubis jungle, Izanami mid, Ratatasker support, and Osiris ADC. That is the ideal composition for Apollo Jungle to thrive, and, well, Layers spots that opportunity from a mile away, and with his intense gamer talent, decided that he was going to go ahead and perform on it.
I'm just going to throw this one out there. Outpost jungle would have looked better.
You think so?
I think so.
Well, you can't prove that, so I'm right.
Well, I mean, none of us can prove it because the Jade Dragons were so intimidated by
So
the
scared.
thought of it that they chose to ban it out entirely. So I think that says enough. They forced Aurora's hand into this Hades support by banning the Nox as well. Guarantee that probably would have been a Nox support had it not been for those strategic efforts out of the Jade Dragons. But score lines aside, again, I think that this was primarily just the Tartarus Titans. They had a little bit of an advantage, I think, surrounding those objective plays thanks to that field of time out of Paul with the Smite Pro League. No barbecue sauce buckets or ketchup buckets involved. It is just a schedule update. Jade Dragons versus Tartarus Titans, Atlantis Leviathans versus Solar Scarabs. Those were the sets that we had to close off the Sunday of Week 8 here for the Smite Pro League of Phase 2. But Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern, friendly reminder, it'll be the rescheduling of that Oni Warriors versus Camelot King set that didn't get a chance to go down yesterday. So don't worry if you think that you missed out, you haven't. Just make sure that you're here tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. Check out all the action between the Oni Warriors and the Camelot Kings as they close out the Week 8 Split 2 entirely, leading into the playoffs. And as far as the standings are concerned, I think the main thing that we're trying to keep an eye out for here is Camelot Kings, of course. They just want to have that strong finish, the clean 11 wins, ideally 11-3 record to match that out of the Olympus Bolts. And Oni Warriors, I think that they're primarily just looking to get a grasp on things.